we'll give the other folks a few moments to join. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions you should ask, I'm happy to answer or clarify any doubts you may have from before. Also, that program we were working on last class, that game that we were developing. If any of you have the source code for that or a link, bring it up. Whoever is going to take charge of the screen today should basically just pick up the code and open up an IDE, and then we can take it from there. Now, where are the rest of the people? Well, yeah, we'll give people a chance to join, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that Nate was working on this code, and he's not here yet. So there's a few students. Oh, there's Nate. Okay, all right. Well, you know, we could, what time is it now? 8:06. Okay, well, you know, let's say we'll start in 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes. And in the meanwhile, someone pick up the latest version of the code that we worked on Thursday last week, and bring it up in an IDE. And pick up the code link from who was coding last class? Was it Joe? Joe, were you coding last class?
No, I was the class before that.
Who was coding? Michael? Robert was coding last class. Yeah, I remember now. I just saw his name. Did you just join, Robert? Because your name just popped up.
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah, okay. That's why I couldn't recall. Okay, so Robert was working on the code. He probably has the link onto the last snapshot of that code. So pick it up from Robert, and someone who'd like to go today, other than the people that have been up here before, ideally, right? So who's been up here? And of course, a couple of you are actually working right now, and so you can't take the screen. I understand that. Tina, I think, is working, so she can't take the screen. I don't know about Yoon. Well, most of the others have actually had a chance to come up on screen on stage before. How about this? You guys decide amongst yourself, okay? You guys decide amongst yourself who wants to go up on stage, and then pick up the screen, and I think Robert will be happy to share that link, okay? And if nobody is willing to go, that would be a real pity. And I think if that's the case, then one of the previous folks can still pick up the code, but I would ideally have like someone else to take up the screen. Can I still submit Q4? All right, a bunch of you are asking if you can still submit Quest 4. Yes, there is no other way for you to get the password for Quest 5, right? You have to submit Quest 4, even though everything is frozen. But then you have to keep in mind that it's not wasted work, because it has two purposes. One is it is still worth points if you manage to go all the way to the end, Quest 9, whatever points you gain solving Quest 4, you will get those points added to your total, right? So everything gets unfrozen. Once you cross Quest 9, everything gets unfrozen, right? So that's one reason. The other reason is because Quest 4 builds on later quests. So if you just you can't get the password for the next quest by not solving the previous one. If you do that, very quickly you'll find that you can't solve the quest at all, because there's lots of missing concepts that were built during the earlier quests that you skipped. And then it gets harder and harder. And then C++ gets unpleasanter and unpleasanter, right? The harder it gets, the more unpleasant it gets. And so we don't want that to happen. So even if you end up dropping C++, you should drop C++ with a good memory. C++ is not the reason why it got harder. The reason it got harder is because C++ was always easy, but we decided, well, we're not going to do all these beginning parts. We'll just go to the juicy part at the end and do that. And then we find it's hard. Then we can't blame the language, right? We can only blame ourselves, because we skipped all the prep material and went directly to the harder stuff. And then if that is hard, it's not, we shouldn't blame C++. Not that there's anything worth, blameworthy here, but I'm saying that, you can't say, I mean, we're not justified in saying, well, I couldn't master C++ because it's too hard for me. It is not too hard for you. You have the ability to master C++ if you did it step by step. That's all, right? So that's what I find most of the time, right? And maybe not in 2A, 2B and 2C. Many students who skipped 2A or did a less rigorous 2A jump directly into 2B. And they complain that C++ is too hard because there are so many things that they are expected to know in 2B. No, that's not true, right? All the things you're expected to know in 2B are covered in 2A. So if you didn't manage to understand that and went directly to 2B, that would be like waking up one morning after maybe a month of sleeping in and deciding to run the marathon. Right? You're going to be exhausted and pass out after the first mile or something. All right. So
I have a question. First of all, so this class, I remember, or well, I know that under the Reddit post that talked about ranking homework, and you told you gave your suggestion for how to expand the program by having that reshuffled list, and then I remember you would take so oh my god, sorry.
Yeah.
So I initially wanted, I started working on that way too late. I had a crazy weekend, and
It's okay.
I shouldn't have worked on that Monday night, but I was kind of confused on how to implement that without the game ending in 3 turns every time.
Yeah, we'll do that today.
Because,
We'll do that today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's complete that. It shouldn't take a lot of time. Hopefully, we'll be able to complete it and also be able to play with the completed game, because it's important that we get to play with the completed game, because in our game itself, I was thinking there's a scope for a great deal of instruction about what is going to come next. So I think that would be great. And of course, don't worry too much about some of the suggestions I gave on Reddit. If they're not working out, first of all, sorry, because I was basically just punching it out on my phone in my bed, and I couldn't really, maybe I didn't understand what you were trying to say 100%. So if there were errors there, I'm sorry about that. But we'll work it out in class. And then we can see if the suggestions I gave had any errors and they should be modified, or and I can go back and re-edit the Reddit posts, or we can say, yeah, well, actually that's what it is. We managed to implement that. So we'll think through that together in class today and complete the implementation. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. So who would like to take the screen and take and drive the boat today? Right, someone who hasn't. Oh, let me put the log thing going here. Do you guys hear that noise?
Yes.
Okay, all right, let me kill that. Well, I thought Zoom would basically mute all those things. All right, so well, I mean, I've made my request for someone to take the screen, and nobody has. Remember, you don't have to be a master of the language or even know what you have to do today to take the screen. Talk to anyone who's taken the screen before, right? We're just, Can
I take the screen today?
Yeah, I think ask some of the others if that's okay, and I'm happy. I'm very happy for you to take the screen today, Chad. But let's make sure.
I have a bookmark to the Replit link.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Chad is also. He's always.
I got an idea. Can I try and figure out?
I like it. I like the way that you're. Eager to propose that you take the screen. You do that every class, so I'm very glad that you do that.
I have a question. Can I also try and do the operator? Fix that? Because I noticed last time it wasn't working.
What operator?
There's a part in the code where you're comparing the copy of my players to the
let's bring up the code, and then we'll address all of the issues, and then also develop it further.
Cool.
All right, so is everybody okay with that? Chad is going to pick up the code and we're going to start editing that. Yes or no?
Yeah, sure.
All righty. Okay, Chad, but you got to make sure your font size and everything is okay, right? Because yeah, that's what I was saying. I think, well, I can read it. Don't increase anymore, okay? Because yeah, let's make sure everybody can read it. Can everybody read the screen? Because before one step before it was too tiny for me to read. One step bigger, and then we can't fit enough code on the screen, so we're kind of in a dilemma. But this no, yeah, okay, that's fine, it's fine. Is everybody okay with the font?
I decided just to shrink it a little.
No, wait, is everybody okay with the font size here?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, looks fine.
All right, don't change it anymore, Chad. So let's go with this. All right, so let's see. Well, true. Oh, I can't scroll here. Chad is the one who has to scroll. All right, let me move my mouse arrow out of here. Okay. All right, so let me, so I think there's a little bit of confusion about what we're trying to do here. So I want to explain what I have in my mind, which I explained to Nate. I think, was it a private message, or did I explain in the Reddit post itself, Nate?
It was in the Reddit post.
I see. Well, anyway, so let me try and explain this again verbally, and then you can either correct me, or then we can all get on the same page. We'll get on the same page, okay? So here's what we're trying to do. I'll try and do this explain it step by step, so we know exactly what we're trying to do. All right. So first of all, we created a vector of 5 players. It doesn't have to be 5. We'll change the number later on, right? So make it, so we chose a vector of 5 players, okay? And then after we chose gave them names and everything, right? So after we chose the 5 players, we shuffled the vector randomly. So these players now that we chose are now in random order, yes or no, right? So as I'm talking, I'll say yes or no, and you guys have to say yes or no, okay? Because that's how I know if you guys are following along. Otherwise, I'm kind of losing you.
Yes.
Okay, great, and not just Chad, okay? Take turns. Other people should also chime in. All right, so we shuffle the players. Now, after we shuffle the players, we don't know. We haven't looked in the vector after shuffling, so we don't know what the order is. Yes or no?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So there is this vector out there with a bunch of players in an order that we don't know, because the order that we put the players in is lost. After the shuffle, that order is lost. So some weird ordering of players is in that vector we don't know. Yes or no, right? So we know that, right? Now that order is now what we call the oracular order, or the oracular order, meaning it is the official order, the secret order. The secret order has been determined. Okay, that is the actual ranking of the players. It's in there. Now the game begins. The game is you get a copy of that vector shuffled, right? And all the ranks removed. So what we now have is a bunch of players in a new vector, not that vector, a new vector, which is a copy of that, shuffled. So the ranking is lost, shuffled, and then all the rank information is removed, right? So the ranking is lost. So that is our order. Now, at this point, in fact, at this point, you don't even have to have these vector, we'll get to that, right? So now the game is basically, here is your shuffled list of players. Here is the actual ranking that the Oracle is holding, right? Your task, your mission, should you choose to accept it, right, is to take this shuffled list and somehow turn it into the golden list. This is the golden list, hidden behind the screen. You can't see it. You got it. But how do you turn it? If you can't see the golden screen, golden list, how do you turn this list into that? So you get multiple chances where you can say, well, I got this list. I'm going to take these 2 players and face them off against each other, right? Now, when you say face off these 2 players, what the system is going to do is take those 2 players, compare them to the golden list, and then it'll know. When you compare these 2 players to the golden list, you know which one needs to go on top, which one needs to go on bottom. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if these 2 players, after comparing to the golden list, you discover, hey, they need to be like that, not like this, you're going to swap them back and put them on the list. Yes? Not in the golden list, in the player list. You're going to swap them and put them here. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, after you've done the swap, right, you're going to print out this vector to the user saying, after the last tournament, right, the new ranking in your mind, not the golden list, in your mind is this. This is the ranking you printed out. Now, and obviously, you're also going to compare this new ranking with the golden list. If the new ranking is equal to the golden list, the game is finished, right? The players won. The game managers won. Hey, Chad, don't type right now, because what you're doing effectively is when other people are listening, you're typing, and then we get to the code, and then there's a whole bunch of code here that people don't know about. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just, filling in some stuff I figured,
Let's
how
fill
the
it in
games
together.
work.
Let's fill it in together so that everybody can be on the same page.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
not going to add any more. I'm just going to listen.
Don't worry. Thank you. All right. So every time I take two players and face them off, this list here is going to potentially get closer to the golden list. Again, yes or no. Every single time I take, every time I have a tournament, two things can happen to the list, to my list in my mind. Okay. The first thing, no change, because the two players I picked was a useless face-off. They were already in the right order. So no change to the list in my mind. Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay. The other thing that can happen is that the two players I picked actually were in the wrong order. They got swapped, right? After the swap, this new list, which is different from my old list, is it closer to the golden list or further away?
Further away.
Why is it further away? Because there was an inversion in the previous list that I just corrected.
Oh, never mind. I meant closer.
Closer, right?
I thought you meant the other way around.
Yeah. So So every time I have a tournament, right? Not this whole game. So every time I do a face-off, my list, right? My list is going to either stay the same or get closer to the golden list.
So it's
So
kind of
now-
like a hint.
No, it's actually more like a test and an experiment, a scientific
Cool.
experiment where you do a controlled test, where you do a very specific, well-designed test, and based on the result, you're going to change your worldview.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So the game is won when the external world is the same as your internal world. Does that make sense? Right? See, we continue playing the game as long as the world outside is different from the world in our head. And we're always trying to figure
Got
out.
it. Yeah, now I get it.
And so yeah, exactly. Just like in
So
real
the
life,
world
right?
outside is like, the golden list, right?
Yeah. So the truth is out there, right? So we're being all funky about that. The truth is out there, and the game continues as long as we haven't discovered the truth, right? And our mission really is to keep on trying to discover the truth. And we do more and more experiments trying to discover the truth, right? Now, stupid people, I shouldn't say stupid, right? Or unwise people will do an experiment or inefficient experiments and look at the result and not make any change to their own worldview, right? So players 2 and 5 are going to face off, and then they're ordered like this. And then the face-off, the match, the tournament, the game, the face-off decides, oh, 5 is more stronger than 2. So, that should be 5 and that should be 2. So let's invert it, right? So the face-off tells us, no, your own worldview is wrong. The external world tells you that 5 should be above 2, but you've got 2 above 5. You got to change it. Now, if I'm not a wise player, what I'll do is, I know the world must be wrong, right? So that's what people do, right? So when they find something that is wrong in the world, instead of correcting their own belief, they will say, no, the world is wrong. So I got to change, what all these other intelligent people are thinking. Rather than change my own worldview. So we got to, so this whole game is actually a wonderful exercise in which there is this golden list out there, and the game will continue. The game is not won. We have not won the game until we have discovered the golden list, right? When you've discovered the golden list, the game has been won. Okay, so that's what we're going. That's where we're going towards. So I think that actually worked out really nicely. So actually, I like I said before, when I said this on Reddit. For when I made this, in Reddit, I wasn't thinking like this, but it actually, the narrative looks very nice this way. Okay, so if this is it, if everybody's on the same page, if we're all in agreement, we can start implementing this. And I think if I'm not mistaken. We should basically just it should be finished in 30 minutes. And then we should be able to play this game for a long time after that. Yeah, but I need to know. So here's also your the equivalent of your roll call. So type in yes in the chat window if you think you're on board. So you're cool. You're cool at this point, right? So I've got 1 yes so far. 2. Yeah, only 2 people. So the rest of you, 3. Why is nobody else chiming in saying yes, right? Because I don't want to move forward until more people are on board, because otherwise it's just the 3 of us, 3 or 4 of us going forward. Great. All right. Okay. All right. So there's a whole bunch of you who've said yes, and I'm going to assume that if there are other people who would have said no, and they didn't chime in here saying no, I don't understand it, then the onus is on you, right? You have to catch up to everybody else, and you have to ask your classmates offline, right? Go on your Discord channel or Slack, or offline on Reddit message boards, right? Message your classmates saying, hey, you said yes, but I didn't quite understand. Can you explain this to me? All right. So those people who said yes, I'm going to assume have implicitly volunteered, right, to help out the other people who are too shy to say no on screen. Yes or no? So one of you who said yes needs to say yes one more time, agreeing to say yes, I will help out those other people who reach out to me. Okay, Nate, thank you. All right, so Nate and Michael. So yeah, a whole bunch of people saying yes. All right, great. So let's go back to this code now. Where are we? So let's, hey, Chad, I think you may have to hit Control+ one more time. For some reason, the font is, maybe my glasses. Yeah, okay, I think that's better for me.
So a question. So essentially, I just have one more question before I say yes about this program.
Mm-hmm.
So after we get both swaps, we run the tournament, right?
No, all right. So let's all right. So let's do this step by step, okay? Get rid of all the lines. Yeah, get rid of those lines, and we'll type it in because some people haven't done this yet, and then let's get rid of those. And then I want to, as I was explaining to you, I realized there's one more thing that we needed to do, or undo, that we did before. We can actually undo, and it'll work, right? So get rid of the int swap 1, int swap 2, because they're not really swap 1, swap 2, right? Okay, now go up to the place where you the player class, right? Where's the player class?
It's probably in a player.cpp.
Yeah, I think no, player.h. Yeah. Okay, I think we don't need the rank variable. Okay, so in fact we can actually run this game without a rank. So can you quickly comment out rank, right? And also comment out the default non-default constructor that takes a rank parameter and then adjust. There's no point in commenting. You just basically edit it, delete the rank line and get rid of all the rank references here, right? Get rid of the, oh, you want to do new ones? No, it'll just make the code all cluttered. Okay, just get rid of rank altogether. Get rid of the, triple click on the line 14 and get rid of the line. And then, let's not clutter up the code. We'll keep it simple. Okay, one more blank line to go. Yeah, all right, and then get rid of the rank and the second parameter.
I think the second parameter, line 17 and line 18.
Yeah.
I mean, the second part of those.
Yeah, just the second part. Rank equals 0 needs to go. Oh, over there. Okay. All right. And then, all right. And then get rid of on line 17. You got rank equals 0. Get rid of rank equals 0. So my belief or my assumption right now, my guess, right, the reason I'm saying this is because I think so. And I think with a very high level of confidence that we don't need rank, okay? Because the rank is implicit in the ordering in the golden array, all right? So that's, is that okay? Do you guys?
Yeah, because, number 1, number 2, that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like a tournament, like, the amount of points the player already have, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right, great. Now go to your player.cpp and make any required adjustments, right? A set rank. I don't think we need the set rank at all. Set name we need. And then, yeah, the rank can go over there. Yeah, get rid of the rank. And then the third, that line. All right, so we actually have a very, very simple.
Wait a second, he removed the non-default constructor.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
This one defined all of it. This one declared it.
Yes, that's fine. All right. In fact, go back to your .h file. I'll show you something really cool. Do you have two constructors now, non-default and default, or just one? Oh, you only have one. That's fine. I thought you had two, right? So that's fine. All right. So this is all good. Now let's go back to your main. And then in your main.cpp, we have a bunch of players. Okay. Get rid of the rank. Get rid of the rank. Right now, why do you say p2? Oh, I say p2.get name. Where are you initializing the vector? Where are you initializing the vector with names? Make name. Okay, let's do some interesting thing with the make name, right? So go back to your make name function. Let's make it more interesting, right? Instead of player_1 and so on, we'll make it slightly more interesting, right? Go back to your player make name. Where's your make name function? No, it should be above main, right? Because we didn't declare it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, now what we'll do for make name is, and tell me, right, if you're in agreement with me. Let's say we want to make a 3-syllable name. Okay, 3 syllables. So let's say, like, I don't know, everybody on the screen that I'm looking at right now is 2 syllables or 3. Susanna.
I wonder if maybe
Susanna. So Susanna, right? So yeah, if you have 3-syllable names like Susanna, Robert, no, all right, Joseph. I don't know. All right, we're going to make 3-syllable names, okay? 3-syllable names, because you get more rich variation. So in your make name, declare 3 vectors. Declare 3 vectors of strings. All right, declare 3 vectors of strings. Call them sil1, sil2, and sil3. All right, 3-syllable vectors. Right, vector of string, sil1 equals. Did we find we can actually initialize a vector like this before? Open curly, all right, and then space, and then give it a whole, some 4 or 5. You can give it 5 different initial syllables. Let's say cha, like Chad, right? Cha, CHA, within quotes, cha, and then the first syllable, CHA, right? And then a pa, right? Other people should call in more, right? It's a comma. Have a comma, yeah, ka, cha, pa, and then ga, ta, t, and then bro, bro, conjunct consonants. Throw in a bunch of these, right? So think of your own names and call out, guys, call out, right? Call out more and more that Chad can type in there, right? 4 or 5 at least. You need to have 4 or 5.
Can I initialize sil2 and sil3?
Yeah, do sil2 and sil3. So sil2, keep in mind that it's got to be the middle syllable of the names. Okay, middle syllable means you can't. In your mind, you know what the middle syllable should sound like. Okay, so type in some middle syllables for your names, right? And again, start with a consonant or a consonant cluster and end with a vowel. Right? Start with a consonant cluster, end with a vowel. And remember, you can also use Y as a vowel. Okay, and then the middle syllable is not going to start with a capital letter, right? So it's going to have a lowercase letter. Yeah, D, and then A, right? No, yeah, okay, A. You want to have a consonant cluster, and let's say THU, and then PRA. Why is nobody else coming up with these things? Am I the only one thinking?
I came up with some like D. I came up with some of them.
Yeah, you did. All right, so it's only the 2 of you. Only the 2 of me. Right? Damn it. Only the 2 of us, right? 2 of us, right? Who else?
I wrote one.
Come on.
I wrote one in the chat. My name starts with NA, so Na.
You just call it out. Yeah, BRU, SU. Yeah. SU. Actually, add SU to the first one, the first syllable, right? I think Susanna said SU. SU sounds more like a first syllable, right? And capital SU. No, you leave the ta. It doesn't matter how big they are. The bigger the better. The bigger the better, really. on the same line, yeah, say SU, add more, yeah, add as many as you want, guys, right? Add as many as you want, right? And then the last syllable also, right? Go ahead. If this file is editable, other people should just feel free to just jump in and edit it right here, okay? The last syllable, you know, yeah, no, think in your mind that it should be a last syllable, right? Sometimes you can have it end in a consonant like PET, pet, right? GET, get, GY, or KY, N, kin, things like that, right? Have it sound interesting, right? KYN, 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 and then, you know, how about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, L? We haven't used L, M, N, right? No, L and M. So L, U, N, maybe L, U, N. Yeah. Or, you know, L, U, S or L, U, S or L, U, T, or, you know, do something like that. Okay. Okay, all right, cool. And then, so it's only Chad, is it? Nobody else is actually chiming in here. All right, so in your make name, and now you're just going to select a random first syllable, random second syllable, a random third syllable, and you're going to concatenate them and return it. That's all. Okay, so you're going to say, get rid of the OS double less than name underscore. Okay, and then get rid of the string stream also. Get rid of the string stream at the top. We don't need that. Yeah, triple click and delete. Yeah, all right. And then also get rid of that. And then you're going to return sil1 square bracket sil1 dot size percent. No. I said what is it? Rand percent sil1 dot size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rand is a function call. Yeah. Rand is a function call. Yeah, and then yeah, turn that into a function call. Rand should also be a function call. Okay, now plus, and then at the end, it's a string, right? It's plus, yeah, and then concatenate the 3 syllables and you return it. Is everybody on the same page? Is everybody okay with this? What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody's lost, right?
I'm following.
Yeah, you can actually break it up. Oh, actually, make the code window size bigger. I think you got a really wide terminal. Yeah, even more, I think, so you can get the whole thing on one line. Okay, great. So that, and then you can put in a blank line before the return so that it's separated from the declarations. And then I think the third syllable starts with a B, capital B. The third syllable shouldn't start with a capital letter, right? On your third syllable, you have a capital B for bro at the end.
I was actually doing one last one real quick.
Yeah, but just change it. Change it to something that doesn't start with a capital. It's fine, and that's fine. All right. Now, in your main, you should be able to just run this. It will generate these names. I hope the vector initialization works, right? Because I have a vague memory that we tried to do this before, and a vector wouldn't initialize from a native array, and then we had to do some weird things like pushback and resize and crazy things, right? I hope this works. Okay, maybe this is C++17, right? This is C++17.
Can I comment out this line and notice this line? We got an error, the if statement.
Why do you have an error there?
Can I show you?
No, just comment it out for now. We'll get to that later. Yeah, comment it out. That's fine. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, try and compare two vectors.
And go up. I want to see if we also print the 5. We want to see what also insert an srand while we're at it. Well, above your while loop. Above your while loop. No, in your main. Why is your indentation so? Are you indenting by 1 space or 2 spaces? Oh, it is 2 spaces. Yeah, yes. Okay. You call srand after the vector declaration, right? So yeah, that's fine. Call vector. Call srand there. Call srand. Yeah, enter. In fact, here's a suggestion. and it just came to me, right? So SRAN, I think it's better to call it even before we do our vector initialization. And the reason I say that is because vector is not a native type. It is a sophisticated class, right? Now, in this case, we know the vector initialization does not involve random things, right? But certain cases, we may be instantiating a class, right? So player and instantiating a class, and the constructor may call rand. If the constructor calls rand, then it's important that sran be called before the constructor, right? So for those reasons, let's just say that if we're going to call sran at all, we call sran immediately after entering main, even before you construct your first object. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
What to do?
I'm sorry. Yes, is everybody said? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So that's why it's best to call srand before anything happens, right?
Yes, yes. And also we should never ever call sran more than once, especially in a loop. Yeah. Because what that'll do is just keep resetting the pointer back to the same place again and again. Okay, all right. So now what we want to do is we got make name, all right, set name, and we're printing out the names.
Yeah.
All right. So and comment out the second. You can comment out everything under the line 64 and below. We don't care about those because right now we just want to see if the name generation works, right? So that's how we do it, right? When we develop any large project, we do a little bit and then we run it and test it out. Do another little bit, run it. Every single step of the way, we got to stay in step with the code, making sure it doesn't break. Because what happens generally is that if something breaks and then we say, well, we'll come back and fix it later and then do other things, then we find that if three broken things need to be fixed, it is not 3 times the difficulty of fixing one thing. It is actually the difficulty of one thing, fixing one thing raised to the power 3 or some crazy number like that. So so that's why I find it actually helps to fix little problems as they occur, right? Rather than save them up and fix them all in one batch. Yeah, well, I don't know. It doesn't work all the time, but situations like that, this it works. Okay, so let's run it. Let's run it. Make sure we get these 5 random names. 5 random names. It should be cool. And every time you run it, we should get different names, right? We should run. Are you? Why is it taking this long to compile? Okay. Now, what do we? I can't. Okay. Yeah. I can't. It's not the font size. I think it is a color of the font. Or your white. The font is. What do you say, bro? What is Brona? Is it? What is the name of the first? What is the first name? Brona?
Yeah. It says why say twice. I think maybe we should
yeah, we do. You don't have enough options. That's why it's no, but I'm saying I can't read it clearly. The O is almost gray. It's not fully white. There's a lot of black inside of the O. Can you increase the font size one more time? Sorry. Yeah. Or maybe it's not Brona, it's Bro-A. This is BROAA. How do you get Bro-AA? How could you have? Yeah, that's what I mean, right? So we got to be prepared for this. When we make these vectors, we got to be prepared for the fact that A could be picked twice, right? So what you want to do is change the last in the third syllable. You want to change, or in the second syllable, right? So second syllable is better. The second syllable, the A should not just be an A. It should start with a vowel. It should start with a consonant and then become a vowel. So let's turn that into A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, H, U, A, H. No, H. HA is fine. HA is fine. Oh, yeah, that's fine. All right, and then the last one shouldn't start with a vowel either. Let's make that an RA or TA or TA. All right. Now, if you run it now, I think hopefully you should get different names. And obviously, after this, after the class, you can take this and play around and change things around and increase the size of these things so you get more interesting names. So what do we got now? Tasuana, is it Tasuana? Honestly, I can't read it. Maybe it's my older eyes than your eyes are younger than mine.
Yeah, that's Tasiana.
Yeah.
Could we also maybe do a function that maybe checks to see if the same name appears twice?
You know what? Jane, why is it? Yeah, Anna is too long. It's making these names really long. Just make it NA, not A and NA. Right. We shouldn't be spending too much time on the name generation, by the way, right? This is the more interesting stuff to come. All right. So we are getting these names. So let's go back to your main. Go back to your main. Now uncomment the places where you had, well, systematically uncomment, right? So now we've got the names. Now let's declare our my players. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now we're going to shuffle my players that copy, right? My players copy, right? My players copy. You're going to shuffle my players copy. No, you got the line there. You just need to uncomment it. So what do you mean?
I did not comment it. I wonder who did, because
No. I mean in main.
oh, cool. Yeah, I uncommented it.
Yeah. That's fine. In main, that's there. All right. So main, and shuffle. After the shuffling, write a comment on line 58, or on the shuffle on line 57. Write an inline comment. Inline comment at the end of line 57. Say the shuffle determines the golden ranking. Right. This shuffle determines the golden ranking. So we're going to we'll put it on the same line. Put on line 57. Make an inline comment at the end. Yeah, this shuffle determines the golden ranking. And we're putting these comments in for the benefit of students who are not here today, right? Who come and read this code and don't know what it's doing. And they're not privy to our conversation here. So they don't know that's the reason why we're doing it, right? Is if everybody in class wasn't here and paying attention, we won't have to do these things. All right. So, all right.
Is that a good explanation? You know, the ranking for the real world.
Golden ranking. Except it's going on, spilling on to the next line. Get rid of the ranking for the real world, right? So let's keep it on one line. Yeah, I think that should do, right? Now, after the shuffle, all right, after the shuffle, we are going to basically at this point, what are we doing? Get rid of that for loop, because that for loop was basically just a debugging, a diagnostic tool for us to print out the names, right? Get rid of the for loop after that. Okay. Now we want to take a copy, right? Take a copy. That's what you're doing on line 61. So get rid of the blank line. Get rid of the blank line. All right. So now we've got my players copy, which is my players. Now my players is the golden, right? So in fact, change the. Can you refactor in replete? So right click on my players on line 50 and say golden ranking, right? Yeah. Right click and say right click. Oh, no, that's not what I mean. Put it back. Control Z, Control Z. Right click. Right click on my player. Select my players. Right now, right click on it. Okay. Now click rename symbol. Okay. Now change it. Golden ranking. Okay. Now that should. Why is it not changing all of the my players? It says rename, right? It did say rename, didn't it? I don't know. Nobody's actually answering me. Am I the only one?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
But it didn't. Did it change? But there's my players. My players. There's line 60. It didn't change line 60. Right? I didn't change line 57. When you rename a variable, I expect that the IDE will do refactoring, which means it will find out every other place where the variable is declared, and every place it should change the name. But obviously, Replete is not doing that, but it's giving you an illusory interface saying, hey, I'm going to try and refactor this, but it's not refactoring. So it's a really crappy interface, right? So so we have to change this manually. Yeah, change my players to golden ranking. I have a feeling that I'm the only one who's talking and nobody's even paying attention.
Oh, wow.
I'm here, but
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, be interactive, guys. Just talk. Like, I mean, imagine that we're all sitting around in a table and having a conversation. Okay, imagine how it'll be if we're all sitting around in a table and conversing, but I'm the only one talking. Everybody else is reading a book, right? Or browsing their phones. All right. So my shuffle. All right. So after that shuffle, this is after the second shuffle, right? So we get the my copy. All right. Shuffle my player copy. Right. Line 62. Why? What's going on there? What's going on there? Why is it underlined? String s equals golden ranking of I. What are you doing there?
No, I think that's a place where you're supposed to get name or something like that. 53.
Yeah, can you please
instead of golden ranking? I mean, make name.
Wasn't it make name before? Who changed it?
No, I think when we were doing the whole changing name thing, it Replete somehow changed the name of that instead. So.
All right. So are we there? Make name, set name.
Yeah, I think it did something pretty bad and it kind of changed. Sorry,
Yeah,
it
don't
kind of
worry.
messed
All
up
right.
my.
Yeah, but it was. I think it was Replete when you did the refactoring. It did crazy things in the rest of the code. All right, change that to golden ranking also. All right. Okay. Now I want everybody to be on the same page so far. Okay. We have the golden ranking, which is untouched, right? Which cannot be touched. You cannot fiddle with the golden ranking. It's out there, right? We're not going to touch it. We also have instead of my players, call it my ranking. I'm so sorry. I'm coming up with these things after the fact and having you do more work. So sorry, Chad. Can you change my players copy to
It
just
kind of messed with my head. I'm sorry. I kind of got.
yeah. Don't worry. I'll tell you what to do. Okay. I'll tell you what to do. Go to
just that.
line 59. Go to line 59. Double click on my players copy. Double click. Okay. Now type in my underscore ranking. Okay. Now do the same thing on line 62 also. Great. Okay. All right. So now we have the golden ranking. We have my ranking. Now my task as a player is to keep fiddling with my ranking and hopefully change it into the golden ranking. Are we together so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. So while true, a round number, okay, on line 72. And now before we enter the round, output, right? On line 71, say current rank. We've got to say current. What do you call it in games? I'm not a sports guy. What do you call that? Is it called ranking or placement or what do you call it? Current
ranking.
Let's say current ranking. Okay, current. But ranking means it's we are implying what the actual ranking is, right? Current
rank.
Yeah, current peck order, whatever. I don't know.
Just
Yeah,
say placement, current rank. Yeah, ranking or placement are both words that work.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, let's say current placement, right? Let's do what Nate said. So current placement. So at current placement.
Do we want it? Do we want it to be indicating that this is a, I guess, different?
On the next line, yeah. Go ahead. I'm just talking to you.
I think I'm still thinking through my question. I was gonna ask like along the lines of like, why are we trying to make sure that it's a name that doesn't sound like ranking, I guess? Or are we even doing that, or is it just
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to, I was trying to make sure was that the player doesn't confuse the word ranking, current ranking with, suppose I say current ranking player A, B, C, D, E. I don't want the user to confuse, oh, A, B, C, D, E is the golden ranking.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was trying to deconfuse the user or make it less ambiguous to the user. But this is fine. Current placement. Now what we need to do is basically, you had that for loop before where you printed off the player rankings one after another. So you basically.
Yeah, can I try it with the golden ranking as well, real quick, just to make sure it's working properly after all?
No, you can actually do it right here. You're going to do exactly the same thing, but we'll do it with my ranking, right? For size t, I equals 0, I equals my ranking dot size. My ranking dot size. My underscore ranking dot size.
I thought you said I.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm I less than my ranking dot size. I plus plus, and then on the next line, all you need to do is cout double less than within parentheses say I plus 1. This is 0. Let's say start ranking at 1. Right? I plus 1. Within parentheses. I think we need to put it within parentheses just to be clear, right?
I think you should also put a dot, right?
Yes. No, not plus. Left shift. Dot space. Yeah, space after the dot. Okay, and then double less than my ranking of I. a square bracket I. Square bracket I, end
I
of.
thought you said dot I.
Oh, I'm sorry. Off. I said off I. Yeah. And end line. Mhm.
I understand like that we should use the double. I'm just gonna call them less than symbols because that's the way I know them. But I was wondering the difference between using double things and the plus.
Yeah. But plus basically tries to concatenate the strings. Yeah. Concatenate
Mhm.
the strings. And then here, unfortunately, we're not using pure strings. Like the part within quotes is not a string. It is actually a pointer, a character pointer, right? So the plus is not overloaded. The C++ plus operator is not overloaded in that context to take a pointer and then a string and things like that. So we try and keep it all straightforward, right? Really straightforward. There is a chance it might.
I have an error. Try to fix it.
What is the error? Mouse over. All right, invalid operands. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that's fine. What? Well, how could that be invalid operands? Let me see. I plus one.
I think we do the two-string method. I think.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. You got to use a two-string method. I'm sorry. Thank you, Chad.
Because I remember.
Was it Chad? Was it Chad or Nate?
Yeah, it was me. It was Chad.
All right, go ahead. All right, now if you run it now, oh,
No, it's going to go an infinite loop, so we should probably put a CN just to stop it, right? Maybe you should put a CN.
No. Let's not run it now. Right? Give me a blank line after that closing brace. Now let's get the first contestant. So print the prompt saying, say C out. No, after the get. Because we want to get the first contestant. No, after the get. Yeah, after that comment. Yeah. All right. There. You say print the prompt saying C out. Enter the for now. Let's say enter the index of the first contestant. Enter the index of the first contestant. All right, and then colon, and no endl there, except input in the same line, right? Colon space, and then close the quote. Yeah, and turn the full stop, the period into a colon. Turn the period into a colon. Yeah, and then I put a space after that. Okay, all right, great. Now you want to say cn double greater than into your p1 or index 1, right? Oh, you don't have a variable called index 1.
So can I put that in the? Can I put that in the while loop?
Yeah, you can
Because
say.
it only lasts for that one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Say size t on a space, index 1, index 2, index 1, comma index 2, and then a blank line after that, right? And in fact, get rid of those 3 lines of comments below that thing there, right there on line 67. You got 3 lines, right? Move those 3 lines of comments above the while loop, right? Above the while loop, because they belong to the whole, and that'll keep the code nice and succinct also, right? Above the while loop, move it up above the while loop. Yeah, there you go. Blank line there, and then, yeah, there you go. Excellent. Okay, and then the round number can also go, that's fine, we'll move it later. We'll clean up later. All right, just give me 1 blank line after line 77, because getting is the next paragraph. Okay, all right, now get the index of the second contestant, all right? Get the index of the second contestant. Just like that, copy and paste, blank line there, and then copy and paste. Okay, second. Okay, great.
Oh, and we should start a new line after CN or no? Or does it give you next line when you press enter?
Yeah. Fix up the cosmetics as you see fit, and then we can call out if other people or I say, we can keep that better. All right, now we've got the 2 contestants. Yeah. Now our task is to find out if these 2 contestants are ordered in the same way in the other array. Yes. In the golden array. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually had a kind of an unrelated question, but we use it here. Why in C++ do you have to seed rand before you call rand? Why doesn't ren just give you a random number every time?
Yeah. So all right. So I'll do a very quick answer to this. The reason for this is because the rand function is not a true random function. It's a pseudo random function. It does not generate a brand new random. When you call it, all the randoms have already been generated. When you bought your computer, it's been there's a million randoms have been generated and buried inside of a table inside the computer, right? So when you ask for a random, it's not generating a random. It's just giving you a random from the table and then moving a needle to the next spot.
I see.
Right. So what SRAN does is take that needle and just basically shuffle it like the wheel of fortune to make it settle at some random place. If you don't do that, every time you call RAND, it's always going to give you the first one, the second one, and third one. So that's why if you don't do SRAN, you always get the same sequence of random numbers. This is reading off the same table from the same place. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So you got the two indexes. Now what we want to do is basically find out the player is thinking that index 1 is my first contestant, index 2 is the second contestant. We want to find out which of these two players is before the other in the list. Okay, so we know the two of the two indexes, we know which index is lower. Yes or no? Suppose I type my first contestant. Yeah, my first contestant is index 2. My second contestant is index 5. Right? I got 2 and 5. I know already from those two indexes. I know that in my own ranking, not in the golden ranking, in my own ranking, I think 2 is better than 5. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we need to find out if the oracle also thinks 2 is better than 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the oracle thinks 2 is better than 5, better than or equal to 5. Yeah. If the oracle thinks that 2 is better than or equal to 5, nothing happens. So our checking function, the tournament is going to return false. The face-off failed, right? If on the other hand, 2 is actually worse than 5 in the oracle's ranking in the golden list, then it's going to return true. Your face-off succeeded. Yes or no?
Yes.
Everybody yes,
yeah.
Not just Chad. Everybody yes or no?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, all right, great. So let's write a function called faceoff. Okay, above main. Let's write a function called faceoff.
Is it void? Oh no.
No, it's going to return
No,
a bool,
bool.
right? Yeah,
Bool.
it's going to return a bool. It'll return a bool. So bool faceoff. Okay, index 1, index 2, and then vector of strings or golden whatever it is, right? Size t. Index 1, index 2 are size t. And then the last parameter,
Ampersand.
and the third parameter, no. The third parameter should be your vector passed in by reference. Say const vector of string, because you don't want to change the golden, right? You don't want to change the golden ranking. So that's why it's const vec. And because you're going to pass it by reference, it's going to be const, you may as well pass it by reference because it's a vector, it could be large. Okay, ampersand, right? Space, ampersand, say golden ranking. Okay, all right. Now, hang on just a sec, okay? Yeah, all right. So we're not passing size t index 1 and size t index 2. Say pass in string player contestant 1, string contestant 2. Okay. Yeah, I still would like it if everything is on the same line. I don't know if you guys can come up with a synonym for a contestant that is shorter, right? But you can do it later. All right, now what we have to do is basically take we know the player assumes, the player is thinking that contestant 1 is better than contestant 2, but we need to find out if contestant 1 is better than contestant 2. How do we find out? So we take the name of contestant 1 and basically look through the golden, right? Look through the golden ranking and make sure that we encounter contestant 1 in the golden ranking before we encounter contestant 2, right? If we encounter contestant 2 before we encounter contestant 1 in the golden ranking, then you got to return false. Is everybody okay? Write a comment on top of this function so everybody understand what's going on, right? Go to line 47, hit enter. No, line 47, above the function, right? Above the function, right? Yeah. No, blank line, and then comment. Yeah, open a comment. No, next line. All right, open a comment. All right, you say return true if can't, yeah, you got to change that from can't, because can't also people would say continue, right? So if contestant one,
Maybe just do player one.
yeah, may just do player one.
Can I do P1 because that's
Yeah, just do
often
P1. P1 is
abbreviation.
actually much better. P1 is much better. P1, P2.
Because that's what's used in video games.
Return true if P1 is weaker than P2. No, return true if P1 is stronger than. No, if return true if P1 is. Wait, when does it return true? If P1 is actually
Is ranked higher than P2? Ranked higher or ranked lower?
Oh, that's when it should return true. Okay, so so face-off should return true if P1 is weaker than P2. Yes. Is it? Is that what it is?
Because P1 is the first one that you swap, right? The one that gets swapped.
All right. Well, I think so. We'll work through this, right, as we go through the code. All right. So in the code, and false otherwise, right? False otherwise. Okay. All right. So here we're going to take P1 and iterate through the golden ranking. So for I equals for size t I equals 0, I less than golden ranking dot size I plus plus. So we're iterating through these things, right? I plus plus. Now we're iterating through this, and we're taking the player names and we're comparing, right? If we encounter player 1 before we encounter player 2, what does it mean?
Oh, that means player 1 is stronger, and that means it's false, right?
Yes. Okay. So what we do is if so just right there, right? If golden ranking of I equals P1, equal, no, double equals, yeah, P1 return false. Is that right? With golden ranking of, well, I mean, there's some corner cases.
I think you need to do the get name.
Yeah, get name.
So
yeah.
dot get name.
And then do the same thing for P2.
There's a problem with the parameter.
Wait a sec. I'm just seeing.
Problem with the function parameter. It should be a vector of players, is that right?
Golden ranking of I dot get name. What does it say? You don't have a name?
Oh yeah, Robert's right. I think that's Robert. The reference vector you passed in, it should be vector of players.
Oh, it's a player. It's a vector of players, not a vector of string. I'm sorry. Yeah. Change that to a player of. Yeah. Golden ranking should be a vector of players, not string.
Oh, you're bad, right?
Thank you. I think that should fix it, right? Why is it still? Oh, all right, good.
Yes, it fixed it.
All right. So on the next line, you have another if statement. If golden ranking of I dot get name equals P2, then you return true. Otherwise, go on to check the next one. Does this logic work, right? So what would be good now is if you guys can run this logic in your head, okay, all of you, and see if it works or not, right? Return false. And if you go through the whole thing, I think.
Is it possible to actually make this switch case?
Yeah, no, you can't, because we're comparing strings here, not numeric types. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And also get rid of the else. You don't need the else. You can save the indentation, because the first if returns, you don't need the else. Yeah. And then at the end, because this function has to return something after the for loop, return false. After the for loop, just return false. Otherwise, the compiler will complain. After the for loop, at the end, at the very end.
Oh yeah.
Return false, right? The compiler will complain otherwise. All right. So now, is this correct? We got to run this through in our head. Okay. So we send two players, and two players are going to be compared. And what we're doing is basically taking the first player and looking at the ranking, golden ranking, right? Starting from the beginning, we go down. If we encounter the first player without having yet seen the second player, that means the first player is in fact better than the second player. So we just return true, right? However, if we haven't yet encountered the first player, but we encounter the second player before.
Mm.
Okay, all right.
Because remember you said, because you see the program is if player one is better, it returns false. Otherwise,
Oh, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, go ahead and fix it. If player one is better, it returns false. Okay, if player one is better, return false. But
that's
not
like,
what
you
you've
know, the one that's the
that's not what
first
you've written in your
contestant that
comment.
you are swapping essentially, you know?
In your comment, you've got something else. In your comment, you have return true if P1 is weaker. So you got to say return true if P1 is
Strong.
Oh no, is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. Because this can be confusing, but yeah.
Well, let's make it less confusing. Okay, so return true if P1 is stronger than P2. Okay, that is what it is. Return true if
like
P1,
the new one, right?
yeah, just say stronger, and then let's change the code to make sure that's correct. So if we encounter the first player first, return true. Else return false.
Cool. So maybe player one.
Yeah.
So if we invoke this, method, we could probably make player one the swapped, the second contestant, right?
Should we just
Assuming
have
they
a
switch play.
else for return false or
I mean, the one.
Yeah.
that's-
Who asked that question, by the way?
Peter?
Peter? Yeah, you can have an else. And in fact, if you remember, Chad actually put an else there. And I said, hey, Chad, get rid of the else. And the reason we do that is because if we know for certain that the previous if block is just going to return to the user or break out of the loop or do a continue or something like that, then we can actually save on a level of indentation by removing the else, because there is no way you can get to the second if unless it was actually an else already. So it's called an implicit else. So you don't have to write an else. So it'll save you on indentation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so then why do we have the second if statement? Like couldn't we even just like let it run after the first if statement?
Oh,
And it'll just return false at the end?
Oh, no, you can't. Because the reason is that not only you've gotten past the first if statement, right? Because it's not player one, right? But we can only return false if you encounter the second player. You can't return the false. You can return false if for just blank, if for anything else you can return false, right? Because maybe it's going to come later on. So you need
well, right now, if you never encounter either, it's going to end up returning false.
That's right. If you never encounter either, it'll end up returning false, which means that, there's something funky because you never ever call this function without valid names. Yes. Okay. So in your main, go to your main now. Go to your main. Where you call this function. We haven't yet called this function. This is great. Okay. So after in line 99, enter one more time. Let's do a really quick check to save ourselves some grief if some people punched in some wrong numbers. So we're just going to say if index 1 is greater than 5. No, actually, is it, how many players do we have? 5. Yeah. If index one is less than 0 or greater than 5, it's actually size t. So if index 1 is greater than 5, or index 2 is greater than 5, then you got to print a message to the user saying index out of bounds and exit the game, right? Greater than or equal to 5 because you have 5, right? No. Greater than or equal to, not arrow. Yeah, greater than or equal to, or index 2 is greater than or equal to 5. Right, and then on the next line, you say CERR, right? CERR is the same as C out, except that it's the error stream, right? CERR double less than shift left shift, right? One of the indices was one of your indexes was out of bounds, and then exit. Yeah, out of bounds /n. /n. No, yeah. All right, Endel. All right, and then on the next line, you say exit one. On the next line, you say exit. That's
sorry, this failed to connect. So okay, refresh. Oh, never mind.
Exit, EXIT, open parentheses, 1. We're saying we're going to exit the program itself, not just function. Exit means exit the program itself. Die, right? Die and give the operating system a code of 1. So the operating system can hopefully figure out, well, 1 means it died, right? Didn't exit properly. Okay, all right. Now, after the after the if statement, hit enter after line 106. Yeah, enter. No, not there. After, yeah, after that. Okay, now we want to see, right? Now we want to do the comparison. So get rid of swap. Swap. No, don't get rid of it. Right. One more blank line there. One more blank line. Right. Now, what we want to do is if face off, yeah, you got to get into the habit of always starting your if statements with a parentheses. Yeah, if face off, and then what is it? My players? What is no my ranking of index 1, comma good dot get name. My ranking dot index 1. My ranking square bracket index 1. Now, so we're doing a bunch of chaining here, and I want to make sure that this doesn't basically throw anyone off. Okay, so if anybody is finding any of these things challenging or over your head,
if you want, can you go a bit slower, because sometimes, you know, if you kind of are fast and you do dot, it kind of throws me off.
Sorry about that, Chad. Yeah, so basically you got to slow me down. Okay, not just Chad. Okay, anybody else? Everybody else is basically silent. But if
I kind of want to be a little slow down. And
sure. Thank you.
I know I don't think and something about this previous line. I think it's better that we just
no, you haven't completed line 108. Line of face off takes 3 parameters. So the first parameter is my ranking. What you typed below is what is supposed to be the first parameter, right? Yeah, my ranking square bracket index 1 close square bracket dot get name. Okay, right? And then so basically you're passing these 3 guys and then the golden ranking. You're passing these 3 guys to face off, the function face off, golden ranking. Okay, so if it returns true, what does it mean? If it returns true, it means that player 1 is stronger than player 2, right? No changes. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it returns true, what we want to say is see out useless face off or something like that, right? Useless face off, no change, or something like that. Useless face off, no change. Right? Else, and then you can just do continue. You can just do a continue right there. You can do a continue after the see out, so you don't have to have the else. Continue, right? And then you can get rid of the else. And now you know that the order is off, right? So now you want to do the swap. Now you want to do the swap, swap the players at the 2 indices, right? So you say swap my rankings, index 1, index 2. No. Yes. My rankings is the vector, and then index 1, index 2. Does our function do that? Does our function take the? We'll figure out. We got to swap those 2 values, right? So what is our where's our swap function?
There it is. Player.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we don't even have to pass it the actual vector. All right, so go. Yeah. Further down. So we're passing them by reference, right? So what we can do is we don't have to pass it my ranking. We can just pass it. I'm sorry. My ranking square bracket. My ranking square bracket index 1, and then comma my ranking index 2. So we want to swap those 2 values. And after we swap, okay, enter 2 enters, and also give me a blank line before 112, line 112, so that the swap is actually a separate paragraph. No, not there. Before that. Okay, all right. Now after the swap, another blank line after the swap. Yeah, one more blank line, and then get rid of the 3-line comment after that, because we're just going to do wrap it up now, right? The 3-line comment.
No, but we actually commented out a function on the 3rd line, so maybe just 2 lines.
No, we're just going to get rid of everything. We'll just type in what we'll do, right? Now all we need to do is we've done the swap. Now we want to say see out, new ranking. Sorry, someone had an objection. What was it? Someone said something.
I think I was just making noise on my mic. I didn't have a question.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question.
So do you mean a variable or do you mean the string new rank?
New ranking string, right? And then slash n or endl, colon, put a colon there, a colon, and then, yeah, all right, or period, new ranking, or colon, or whatever, right? On the next line, you're going to do a for loop. On the next line, you're going to do a for loop and print out the new ranking. You can copy and paste. You can copy and paste line 89, 89 to. Okay, all right. Now, and then see out, try again, or keep going, or something like that, right? See out, keep going. Okay, I think a new line, and yeah, I think this is a functional program. And
There's a whole problem about this. It's going to print the current placement. That's the problem after new rank.
Yeah, it should, right? It should print the current placement, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Can I test it?
Yeah, clean it up. You got a bunch of blank lines, 99 to 102. Make that single blank line.
Oh, can I also test it?
We're going to test it right now. Yeah, compile and run it.
I don't know why it takes some time to compile. Maybe it's
All right.
near it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so round number 1, current placement. Hey, can you increase control plus a couple? Hey, you're doing things too fast, Chad. Hey, can you increase the size of the terminal now, and also the font size, so that it's easier for me to read it? No, the terminal part, increase the font size. I think one more time. So why is it? I think that yeah, right. Even yeah, and then yeah, kill it and start the game from the beginning. Kill it, Control C, and then.
Oh, I know it's a problem about this.
What is the problem?
I know it's a logic error.
What is the logic error?
So when you type in 1, it takes the index of number 2. So I think
okay, all right.
I might need to fix it by making it I+1 or something.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll fix that. All right. I'm just looking at. Is there anything else that needs to be cleaned up here? All right. Fix that, Chad. Fix that, Chad. So what Chad is saying is that we're passing 0 to 4, whereas there's some mismatch between the 1 and 5 and 0 to 4. So what we need to do is basically over there 1. No, where you do the swap. And also the check, right? You got to do the check, less than or equal to 5, index 1. Yeah. So index 1 should be greater than 5, right? Not greater than or equal to, because we're going from 1 to 5, right? So you got to say index 1 is greater than 5. Oh, now we got to also do that other check is equal to 0. So you got to make sure that it's between 0 and 5 for the purposes of this game. Now, you guys tell me if this is okay with you. For the purposes of this game, we're going to assume that the user is not going to type in weird ass numbers, okay? Because if they're going to type in 0 and 7, we got to, make this check on line 101 more sophisticated, and it's just more typing. But that is something that you can do on your own in less than 2 minutes later. So is that okay with you guys to just skip that check now?
I think the main thing, I think in line 106, it probably should be -1 instead of +1.
Yes, it should be -1. Who it shouldn't have been, yeah, who said, yeah, it should be -1, sorry. That should be -1 on line 106. That should be index -1, index 1, yeah, index 1 -1, index 2 -1. Okay, now if you run it, compile and run it. Greater than 5, okay, all right. So greater than 5, run it. Yeah, compile and run it. There you go. It's not doing it. Kill it. Oh no, the current program is running. You got to hit Control C. Hit Control C. Hit Control C in the. Wow, I hope you didn't lose all that code. Okay, now hit the terminal. Click in the terminal. Click in the terminal. Click in the black screen. Click in the terminal. Oh, sorry, you're fixing something else. Index 2 -1. Okay, so click in the terminal. Oh, what happened? Okay, is this correct? Hey, Chad. We've got to do this together, okay? So if otherwise, you should just be doing it on your own at home, right? Not together with class. Yeah. Okay.
That looks correct.
Yeah. But I'm saying that, you know, when you run these things, let's just make sure we run it together, because I want everybody to stay in step. This is a real risk here. You're doing
I'm
this class for
curious
the
what
first
just
time,
happened.
okay? You know, I've taught this class 5 times or 6 times before. I know what the risk is. I know that lots of people just basically just drop off. And they don't tell you, right? That's the biggest risk. The risk is that people just drop off and don't tell you, and then I have to resort to some crazy ass techniques to find out who didn't understand and who understood. All right, so okay, so run it. All right, so now that is the ranking. Hey, Chad, can someone else take over, please?
Yeah, someone else run it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll also let someone else run it. Sorry.
yeah, please. No, you can run it too, Chad. You're just going too fast, right? We just all have to go together.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, just run it again. Just run it again. Run it again from the beginning. We want to talk this through. All right, so hit /main, type /main. Okay, great. So what we have here is that's a ranking in my head. I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game. That is a ranking in my head, but that is not the Oracle ranking. Yes, because the Oracle ranking is different. Now I'm thinking, well, okay. So I think here's how I'm going to do it. All right, this is my strategy. It's a really an inefficient, bad strategy, as you can tell, right? You should be able to tell that the strategy that I'm undertaking right now is actually an inefficient and a bad strategy. You can do a whole lot better than what I'm doing, and you should do a whole lot better. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is find the most powerful player, the strongest player, and move that guy right to the top. Okay, and then take the next strongest player, move that to the top, and then move that to the next position, and so on. I'm going to do that repeatedly until I get the Oracle ranking, the golden ranking. Okay, so let's see. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the strongest of the last 2 players, 4 and 5. Okay, so can you hit Control plus a couple of times, and then basically hit Control plus to a couple of times? Yeah. Couple of times. Hit Control plus. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I want to face off Suhu Alus and Brup. You know, we should have come up with easier names. Okay, 4 and 5. All right, so 4 is my first contestant. Yeah, 4. Hit 4. Enter 4. Yeah, enter. Okay, and the second contestant should be 5. Okay, it was a useless face-off, right? So 4 and 5 are correctly ordered. What does it tell me? That tells me that Suhu is better than Propra already. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's really cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I want to. Hey, Chad, don't resize the font. Okay. Now I want to see if Suhu is better than Gu. I can't read the second guy now. The third guy,
Sorry.
Gu.
There we
Okay.
go.
Powerless.
Sorry, L, I forgot Endel. That's
Wow.
fine.
All right. Now face off
Wallace.
Suhu and Gahu. Right. Face off Suhu and Gahu, which means you type in 3 and then 4. You assume that 3 is better than 4. And let's see if okay. What did it do? What did it do? Oh, it actually changed.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it changed.
It changed. Now Suhu is better than Gahu. So Suhu is now in second position. Yes, that position. Now you want to face off Suhu and Pasu. No. Okay, well, you face off Suhu and yeah. Suhu and what happened here? Why did something happen? 2 and 3 we faced off. The first 2, oh, I see. So Suhu went out. So we want to, and you faced off Suhu and Pasu. And what happened after you faced off Suhu and Pasu? Nothing happened, right?
I think they changed places.
It changed.
Oh, they did change places. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Now you want to find out who is the top dog. Okay, the alpha of this entire team. You're going to face off the second best and the first best. Okay, so you want to face off 1 against 2. No, 1 against 2. 1 against 2. Okay, what happened?
They switched.
They switched. Okay, now you know that Suhu is the best of everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Now your task is now simplified because you only have 4 players to rank. Because you've determined the top dog. Now you only have 4 players to rank. Now you do exactly the same thing with the remaining 4. Now also, you know, the next time we come and change this code, when you have a successful match, put out a flourish, stars, asterisk, saying, hey, something like that, because I didn't know right now. I didn't know there was actually a swap, right? I got to look at it to see did this swap actually happen, right? So if on the other hand, when you do a successful, when face-off returns true, you say, yay, in a match, incumbent, what is in the presidential race, the incumbent, and what's the name of the guy who's currently holding the thing, and then the guy who's trying to the challenger versus what's the name given in games to the person who holds the top position? There's a name, right? Champ.
Oh, the champion.
No. There's actually an official name, not champ. There's an incumbent, not incumbent. There's a challenger versus the person who has the throne right now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not a sports guy, so I don't know these things. All right. So now
Reigning champion
versus challenger, right? So we know what, now we know the challenger unseated the reigning champion, right? Now you guys do the same thing. You guys do what I just did to determine the second place person. Start at the bottom again, right? Start at the bottom and then do that riffling thing, right? And determine the second place winner.
And are we doing like bubble sort here?
Yeah, exactly. Who said that?
Oh, it's Robert.
Robert, yes, and this is exactly what bubble sort does, right? So what in bubble sort is, which is really an inefficient sort, you're taking the bubbles at the bottom are basically just going to float to the top because the heavier stuff keeps pushing them up, right? Yes, in a beer glass, right? So the bubbles float to the top because the heavier water, the heavier liquid pushes the bubbles to the top, and that's what we're doing
4
here.
and 5.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't wait for me. But don't go too fast either.
Can I do 3 and 4?
Chad, hey, Chad. So I'm not going to participate. However, you should not also be participating. So the two of us should stay out. Someone else should call the numbers that you type in. Is that okay?
Cool.
Okay. All right. Someone else call the numbers for determining the
3
second
and 4.
place winner.
3 and 4. I guess 2 and 3. That should be it, I think, for this round.
No. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. That should be it. Yes. Now, yeah. Do the rest of it too.
Next, I think it's 4 and 5.
No, not 1 and 2.
No, you want do 4 and 5. Yeah, and then just 3 and 4. And the last one will be 4 and 5. No, you don't need 2, 3 because
hey, Chad, wait for people to call out the numbers, okay? Chad.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the last one is 4, 5.
The last thing we need to do is compare.
Yeah, compare.
4 and 5.
Yeah, just do 4, 5, and then you probably need in the code to compare.
Yeah. Let's do 4 and 5. Let's see if it works, and then we'll do the comparison in the code, and then go back to one more game, right?
It's a useless face-off.
Okay, so that is the correct ranking. Okay, so it works so far, but we just don't have a mechanism in the code yet to check if we've reached the golden order. So
and we tried it before we got error. We tried it before and we got an error.
Oh yeah. No, that's fine. So increase the size of the code again, and then go to the bottom of the main, and then do the comparison. And we'll do this now in an easy way. All right. So
okay, I know how I did it.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you did. Okay, so inside the while loop, after you print the new ranking, right? Yeah, one more blank line there, and then you're going to say if, and then we're going to create a method called equal, right? So if is underscore equal, my ranking, comma golden ranking, comma golden underscore ranking, right? Then you say on the next line, you'd say the body of the if statement, yeah. Then you say see out, hooray, you have whatever it is, right? Hooray, you've identified, you ranked the players correctly or whatever you've ranked, yeah.
And we'll have to make that. I know. Can I make is equal for you?
Well, let's get there. Yeah, one step at a time. All right, and then you say return 0. No, not break out of there. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to keep going and enter the next iteration. Now, also,
Leave
while
an
we're
else
at it,
here, right? It's going to break. So
yeah, that's fine. Enter. You can hit an enter, put a blank line there. Also, while we're at it, let's do after the useless face off. Do an else there. Else after the useless face off on line 109. Else. Yeah. Else. See out. And then say 3 stars, 3 asterisks, 3 asterisks. No. Star. Shift 8, or something like that. So we can tell, right? Something happened. Challenger 1. Hooray, challenger, something like that. You got to tell the user. But the stars are, just the stars are enough because we know by looking at the output, right? But you say something there. Say challenger 1, space. 3 stars and then challenger 1 inside of the quotes, space challenger unseated champion, challenger unseated champion.
how do I spell this?
Unseated, UNSEAT, unseated, SEAT champion. Okay.
3 stars at the end.
Yeah, okay, and then a new line after that, slashing. Okay, I believe that is equal needs to be implemented. So implement the is equal function on top, right? Chad, you wanted to do it so desperately, so you may as well do it now if you want, and then and call out, right? What the thing is, when you're typing, just call out what you're typing verbally so that people can listen to you. Okay, I'll call out, right? So what Chad is typing is bool is underscore equal.
So
right?
and we're passing in 2 parameters. The ranking and the golden ranking were.
You need to put the type in there.
Nate, who was it? Nate or Michael?
Yeah.
Was it Nate?
Robert.
That was Michael. Robert.
Michael. There, and then you can pass them by a reference and make them constant references because you're not going to alter them. Make them constant references. Make them references. Make them reference parameters. Yeah, space, ampersand, space. Yeah, space before the ampersand is nicer usually. Okay. All right. Now go ahead, complete that function.
Okay. So we go in a for loop.
Mm-hmm.
Where we compare since we're assuming that both are the same, we just
okay, so do you want me to talk you through this? I think this is a useful function to talk through, in fact, because there's some subtleties here that you can do. Do you want me to talk you through this, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. All right, so go to the beginning of the line and hit enter on line 63 because we want to do something, an initial check. We have to do an initial check, right? Okay, on the first line, say if my ranking.size, not a comment, it's actually part of your code, right? If my ranking.size is not open close is not equal to golden ranking.size, what can you do? What do you do now?
Throw an error.
No.
What?
Return false.
Return false right away.
Return false, I meant.
Yeah. Return false immediately. Right? And then for things like this, people will typically try and leave out the braces so that it's very clear. It's just a one.
I thought throwing an error because normally in the game they're supposed to be exactly the same size.
Yes.
That means something wrong is gone. That's why I thought we should throw an error.
Yeah, but it's not a good idea to throw an error in an internal function like is equal, because the name is equal does not in any way indicate that this person is going to talk to the user. Yeah.
Cool.
right? So the only options you have at this point is throwing an exception, not an error. You can print anything. You throw an exception or return false. But throwing an exception is bad because most programmers don't assume that simple functions like is equal will throw an exception, right? So they'll end up doing something and dying. So all right. So, but one of the cosmetic things that many people exploit here is not use curly braces because it's just one line and it's a return false. It's an idiom, right? In most equality comparisons, this line is an idiom, right? It goes right at the top, no braces. And so everybody knows what it is. So get rid of the braces. Yeah, get rid of the braces because it's one liner, right? Because everybody knows exactly what's going on, right? Okay. All right. Now, after that, yeah, now you can do your for loop, blank line, right? For size t, I equals 0, I less than. Now you can pick any one of those. My ranking.size, right? I plus plus. Yeah. If my ranking of I dot get name is not equal to dot get name is not equal to golden ranking of I dot get name. Get name is a function. Good job there, false. Yeah, and then you can also get rid of the
You
brace.
say good job on return false because I knew what to do.
No. Good job for completing it up, right? Almost, right? So, but get rid of the braces. You don't need the braces here either, right? Because the for has one statement, the ifs has one statement, right? So everything has one statement. So you can actually keep it. No, you need to return false.
No, I'm moving it.
Yeah, get rid of the braces.
So I'm moving it.
Oh,
That's
no.
what I assumed.
All right. So yeah, put the return false on the next line. Yeah, these are things that you only get, pick up by, I don't know, experience or, just personal style, I guess. Return false on the next line. So this is the pattern. You have an extra brace after the for. Get rid of the brace on the for. That's fine. Leave the brace on the for. Okay, all right, good. And at the end, you return true.
That's actually what I was thinking, because then if it doesn't get the does not equal, then that assumes it's true.
Yes. So is that okay? Is everybody okay with this so far?
Yeah, looks good.
Right. So if you should be able to run it now, make the font size very big and you should run it. And let's have a proper game and don't type anything in that someone doesn't call out. Okay.
Cool.
Don't type
Let's do
anything.
that.
Wait for someone to call out these numbers. Okay. Hit Control plus one more time. Make the font even bigger.
Because I can't read it.
I can read it just about now. Just hit Control plus. I think it's the color. It's not white. I think it's some kind of gray. The font, the color. Right. Hit one more Control plus. One more, a couple more. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you have what you had. Yeah, this is good. Okay. All right. Why are we getting the same? No, it's not the same. Okay. Right. All right. So someone else call out what should happen.
Good news, I actually set my Visual C++ compiler, so maybe I'll try this at home as well. This
Yeah, you
program.
try it at home. Yeah, and try and share it on Reddit. Someone call out the name. Call out the thing, right? Call out the contests.
Someone tell me what to swap.
1 and 3.
Ooh, useless face off.
Okay, let's try 4 and 5.
Ooh,
Oh wow. Okay, let's try 3 and 5. There we go. 2 and 3.
oh,
Wow.
useless.
Unlucky. 1 and 4. All right. 1 and 5. Wow. All right. 3 and 5. Okay. Wait,
How
can we
about-
already get the order from? No, never mind.
Can I give you a hint?
Sure.
How about, can we try 2 and 4?
Okay. Nice.
Wow. See, that worked.
Yeah. I forgot. Does the order matter? It doesn't, right?
No, the order matters.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, actually, the
order
order
ma-
matters. The order doesn't matter. Yes, the order doesn't matter. Yeah, because it'll do the swap, right? It'll either do the swap. No, actually, the order matters. The order matters. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you send him the other way, it's going to return false, and then nothing will happen here. So the order does matter. You need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just try the inverse of something we've already tried. 5 and 3.
No, you can't. That's what I mean. You can't do 5 and 3.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because if you do 5 and 3, and let's say 5 is actually weaker than 3, right? It'll return. No, let's say 5 is. I don't know. 5 is. Suppose you say 5 and 3, and let's say that they are already in the right order, right? So, but you're saying 5 is better than 3. You're not saying 5 is better than 3. Yeah, you can say 5 and 3 because your player 1 is your hypothesis as to who is stronger.
Okay. So 5 and 3. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Actually, it did swap.
Yeah. 5 and 1.
Okay, I think there might be a bug in the logic, but we can get to it later.
Nice. 5 and 2. Okay. 2 and 1. Oh, right. Yeah.
You know what? I think they have to be in the right order because what happened here? I'll tell you what happened here. Okay, so we sent 2 and 1, and it said they're in the right order. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, it thinks if it says 2 and 1 are in the right order, it thinks that Chahu is better than Pahu. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It'll only return they're in the right order if Chahu is better than Pahu. But in your list, Chahu is not better than Pahu. Pahu is better than Chahu.
Right.
So the only way you can send people to the face-off is always your champ goes first and then your challenger goes second. So if you want to fight a face-off 1 and 2, you got to send 1 as your champ and 2 as your challenger. So you got to say 1 and 2, not 2 and 1.
Okay.
So if you send 1 and 2, there will be a swap now. If you send 1 and 2, it won't be a useless face-off.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Wow. Can we probably make sure that they always choose the?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
No,
So
no. It.
But it didn't change. It didn't change. No, in your ranking, it didn't change Pahuna.
Okay.
It didn't change Pahuna with Chahudas, right? So 1 and 2, it didn't change in your ranking. Why did it not change? Challenger unseated champion, which means that Pahuna should be in position 1. Yes. After the swap, Pahuna should be in position 1, shouldn't it? Shouldn't Pahuna be in position 1 after the swap? Hey guys, nobody's.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? Why did after your face off, in which you said, I'm going to face off Chahu, who's better than Pahu. But in fact, Chahu lost, which means Pahu should go to the top. Yeah, that didn't happen. So there is a logic bug. No, that's fine. It's good that we have a logic bug because that's where we want to be. So we've got the overall game logic down, and we have a small logic bug that needs to be fixed. Now that little logic bug is your homework. Okay, so I didn't expect the logic bug, by the way. I was expecting that it'll be fixed and we'd play the game a bunch of times before class ends. But what time is it now? Yeah, it's the end of class.
Can I fix it? Maybe can I print the golden list to kind of see where the bug is?
Yeah, print the golden list, but you know, print the
because
golden.
I don't quite
Well,
understand.
you can't. Yeah, but it's really cheating, right? To print the golden list. The challenge is to discover the golden list.
No, I just mean, to debug it, right?
Yeah. But don't do it now in class. We don't have
No,
time.
I'm saying like, when as the homework, so I can
Yeah,
figure out
totally,
what's
totally.
causing it, right?
Totally. Figure out. So your homework is to figure out why the swapping is not going on, and you got to get this game because we're finished with this game. Only that last tiny little bit, which is probably like 10 minutes worth of work, right? 10 minutes worth of work left to turn this into a completely
Can I
full.
stop the share so I can copy this to my Visual C++ compiler?
Yeah, and we'll just share the replete link that everybody can pick up, and hopefully
Cool.
everybody can try and hack it and try and fix it. Now,
I just
after you
mean,
fix
you know,
it-
so I could test it offline as well.
yeah, absolutely. You should only test it offline. No, don't test it on. Yeah. Now, here is the homework. Okay, everybody, and pass it on to the students who are not here, since we're at the end of class today. So you got to fix this little issue, and then after you fix this little issue, change the game a little bit to do with your own taste, right? Maybe change the names of the players. Maybe change the messages that are going out, right? Maybe change the number of players. Whatever it is, to add your own flavoring to this game, right? You've got the basic game here. Add your own flavoring to this game, add more bells and whistles, and share that version, which is your game, as you know, Chad's tournaments, or you know, Nate's tournaments, or Susanna's tournaments. Share that code on Reddit. Okay. I found that, you know, if you share it on Replete and I click on it, it doesn't give me access. I actually need to log into Replete in order to see your code, right? So Replete may not be a great place to share, but you can basically take this code, share it on cpp.sh, or collaborate it and share that link, or basically paste the whole code into Reddit and format this code.
So that's times where I can do code sharing.
Yeah.
So can
However
I,
you want to share it, it's fine.
so is it fine that I share my code once I fix this problem? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Can you
Everybody,
post all
everybody.
this? Can you post all this in Reddit so that I don't forget, or well, none of us forget to do this?
Yeah, I want, and also can you post the videos? I've noticed you haven't been doing that.
Yeah. Just send me email. I don't think anybody's actually looking at these, but send me email and I'll send you a link for the video.
Cool. Yeah, but also maybe you could post the homework instructions on the Reddit so I can look back.
How about this? How about someone who remembers what the homework is and just summarize what they think the homework is, and I can basically come and chime in and say, can you do this in addition? Or that's really cool. I didn't even think of that. And, you know, add that to the homework also, right? So all those things I can do. If one of you can summarize what you think the homework is under this post that Chad or Nate or someone is going to do, right? Make that post saying this is what we need to do to complete the game. But essentially the homework is to post a completed version of this game, a fully functional version of this game that people can go and play, right? Now, when you've got that going, if you're interested, only if you're interested, and this is outside of CS2A, it does not come out of time that you're using to master CS2A, separate, right? If you're interested, I can show you how to take this game and add sound and video and graphics to it and make it a proper web game so people can click a link on their web browsers, okay, go to a page with fancy graphics, and they can actually click on players rather than say 1, 2. They can actually, you know, click on Mufu and click on Chahu, right? And they both come here and play and then go back in that order or this order. All of that happens with sound effects. I can show you how to do that in less than 1 day, right? Half a day is, you know, because if you know C++, JavaScript is a piece of cake, right? I can show you how to do everything, right? On a web server, get a bucket on Amazon, so host it so that you actually have a public facing IP. Anyone can go and play. You know, send email to your relatives in China or Germany and say, hey, I just did something, go and play this at this link, right? And they'll be able to play it, right? All the way across in New York, New Jersey, right? So they'd be able to play your game. And I can show you how to do that. It'll take about, you know, probably half a day, involving about, I don't know, 1 hour of Zoom time with me. So I can show you what to do in Zoom with Amazon, AWS and things like that to set up. You know, maybe JavaScript. I can walk you through the JavaScript, just like I walk through the C++ right now. I can walk, it's exactly, but in fact, we're going to take exactly this code and put it in JavaScript and make minor changes here and there to account for the new syntax. That's all we're going to do. We're not even going to do JavaScript from scratch. What you've written in C++ is basically 90% already ready to go in JavaScript, right? We just need to make a few tweaks here and there, and it's ready to go as a web app. So I can help you do that. If any of you is interested in turning that into a web game and picking up some web development skills on the side, right, as a byproduct, let me know outside of, you know, send me email or a message or something and say, hey, I'd like to do that, and I have some time blocked off, like 2 hours on a Sunday or a Saturday or some evening. I'm happy to, you know, do a one-on-one or 1-on-2 or 1-on-3 or whatever it is, right? And I can walk you through this, and then you'd be able to play this game. But before all of that, get it working in C++, right? Get it working in C++. I think it'll be fun. Was this a fun exercise to do? Let me know.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it was. So
And
can I put a
I
quick
like how
summary
it's
of the
been a
homework?
continuing like work in progress, so I can see like how everything connects. Like, oh, that's why we use that, because it connects with whatever we did last class.
Oh, yeah. So it connected now. Did it?
Yeah, things in general, because we're still working on the same project over the past like week and a half now. So it's helped me like understand the concepts behind it, because it's like I can see where it all plays together.
Yeah. Do
Instead of,
you
like,
think?
them all being independent projects?
Do you think it helped or not? Hey, Peter's here. Did you see that? Oh, that's Peter was talking to me, and Peter, let's screw
Yeah.
up two at the same time. All right. So yeah. What are you saying? Is this more
It
help?
helped. It did help, yeah. It helps that it's all in one project and we build off of it with new concepts.
Let's see then.
So I can see where I can see where things like especially like replace like concepts I used to use before. So using a vector instead of an array and how that works.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
We can continue to do this. We can continue to do this every
real
class.
quick, just real quick before I go.
Not this, but
So,
yeah.
real quick, so the homework is, I just want to sum it up. So is the homework just like, correcting that logic error, then submitting your code?
No. Your homework is not just correcting. Your homework is fixing the logic error. That's number one. And also adding your own flavor to this game, right? You got to make this game different from what it is now. Maybe change the names of these players, or however it is, messaging or whatever it is, right? Or even number of players. Turn the game, after you get the game working, turn it into a game that other people would like to play, right? With your own touch to it, and then post it, and then share it on Reddit or something, and then people would love to, play more with this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And because Peter said this is actually working out better, we can actually follow the same format going forward, meaning that what we can do is simply pick something and then run with it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 classes, right? Or 2 or 3 classes at least, right? Pick one project, run with it for 2 classes, and then pick another.
I'm posting it right now.
I think we may have run out of time, Chad, but oh, here you go, Peter. You can have.
So can I just say this? Just remember that the homework is to correct the logical error in the robot game and
There you go.
Make it unique from others. And share the code, right?
Did you see that? He got a walnut.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, we see him.
He likes the walnuts more than the actually I haven't tested. Oh, here, talking about ranking, I'm doing exactly the same thing with Peter. I have a bunch of nuts, right? Walnuts, peanuts, sunflower seeds, and acorns, and then I'm five, right? And I'm trying exactly the same thing with Peter. I'm giving him 2 and 5, figuring out which one he goes for, right? And then I've managed to figure out the walnut is almost at the top, but I haven't done a face-off between walnuts and acorns, right? So I got a whole bunch of acorns. So the next time he comes around, I'm going to give him these 2 and figure out which one he picks. So we'll see.
So I'm posting the homework reminder for everyone.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chad. So I think you guys are doing a great job. I'm really super psyched that we came up with this program here, and it's working and it's fun. Totally. Oh, he's come back. He's finished it so far, so quickly. I want to give him something else. Here you go. Eat some peanuts.
Got it. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Hey, thank you guys. Sorry if it was slightly distracted for the last couple of minutes, but yeah, I think I'm super excited. I'm super excited that we made some major progress today, and please chime in and feedback and everything, and I'm looking forward. Really to look at your code. Okay. And working, and in fact playing your game. I want to play your game, and hopefully one of you will also be interested in turning this into a web app, right?
I am actually, because that is something I have no clue how it works. I know I've coded in JavaScript before when I was like first learning how to code in like 7th grade, but I don't like. I made a game. I just didn't put it on the web. obviously. Like I have no idea how that would even start to
Yeah, I'll
work.
show you.
So I'm
It's a
actually
piece
I'm
of
kind
cake.
of
Yeah. That's like 2 minutes. You know, once you've done the game, that's really the hardest part. I can show you in 2 minutes how to put it on the web and get a URL and everything. So yeah, pick up a time and see if anybody else is interested in going with you, and pick up a time, a Saturday, Sunday, or a PM after college, after school, and give me like a 20, 30 minutes to an hour. We'll do a Zoom session and I can show you how to do all of that. It's really fun. It's really fun. Once you get going on that front, you'll see that there's so much more you can do. It'll be fun. Thank you.
That'll be fun. All right, I'm gonna head out.
All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys on Thursday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.